New South Wales, the Blues, they've won State of Origin. For the first time in 4 years, they've won the series. They've won the first 2 games. Queensland, they can win the third game to avoid a whitewash. We shall see. I think this is good for the game of rugby league in Australia. I'm a big rugby league fan. I'm a big NRL fan. Sadly, I haven't been able to watch many games this year because of, well, the NRL seem to have a habit and a weird fetish for trying to prevent people overseas from watching the best game and one of the best sports on earth. They have a big habit of shutting down all these copyright violation. When in previous years they've been quite happy for it to be not so blocked. It's getting harder and harder to try and catch anything to do with results, matches, full match replays, anything. They're making it harder and harder. But that's another criticism for another video. The fact that New South Wales have won is a good thing. There have been calls in the past when Queensland were dominating at their peak that State of Origin was becoming less relevant. Because Queensland have dominated for so long, those calls also came over to City Country, and City Country Origin has gone. Because it wasn't seen as a relevant game anymore, it was a one-off rep round where lesser players who play in the New South Wales area who are eligible play. It was a very short-sighted move. I've discussed that. There's a video on the playlist where I discuss I think that we should bring back City Country, because I love watching City Country. I've always enjoyed watching City Country. It's a great rep round game. It's a historical game. It's part of the history of the sport. I think the way the NRL and New South Wales Rugby League and the Australian Rugby League Commission all dealt with it was poor, piss poor. It was all to do with the big corporate money. You don't get big corporate sponsors who wanted to go out to Mudgee or Wagga Wagga or wherever it is in the rural bush in Australia to sponsor a City Country game in front of 10,000 people. I just don't want to do it. The NRL has gone with the corporate greed over what it actually brings to the local communities where that game is played. Now, on the flip side, there have been criticisms of State of Origin over the years. Its reliance on alcohol sponsorships for both sides, Castlemaine and VB. There's been criticism of that, and the drink culture. There's been criticisms that because Queensland have been so dominant, that it's less relevant and therefore it may go. Yeah, right. It is one of the best adverts for rugby league you will find. It's why Australia are the best rugby league nation in the world internationally, is because they have that extra level of competition and intensity that we over here in Europe don't have. You have that extra tier between club, rep, national. It's that intensity level, and I think getting rid of City Country has affected that, because this is where players get taken away from their clubs and have to train and play alongside players who are normally their rivals at club level and work as a team, which bodes well for the international side. That's why the Australian national side is so much better, because they have this experience of being away from club day in day out, club routine for 9 months. They go to a rep camp for a period of a week to 3 weeks, and they're around their rep teammates who would normally be their club opponents, and they have to work with guys who they would normally be trying to knock each other's blocks off, and they have to work as a team. That's why Australia is so much better than everyone else. But I do think it's good that New South Wales have won it. It breathes a bit of new life into State of Origin that was sort of flickering out. Since 2005, it has been one-way traffic, with Queensland dominating the series. Yes, Queensland have had some great players, and we can name Slater, Cronk, Smith, Inglis, Thurston. They're not going to be around there next year. None of those players are going to be playing. I think maybe Greg Inglis, if he can keep on top of his knee issues and stay fit, maybe. The others all really close to retirement from the game, not just rep fit, from the game and ending their careers. It means there's going to be a lot of new, young, exciting players playing State of Origin that wouldn't have got the chance with Thurston and Smith in the Queensland side. And it's the same with New South Wales, with Paul Gallen no longer there. There's a new leader in the forward pack, clearly. There's going to be players for New South Wales like Jared Hayne. He's just an enigma now. There's going to be these players who've dominated State of Origin for the better part of the last 20 years. A lot of them 10, 15 years, 20 years. the old guard's going and the new breed coming through, and it's going to make it far more interesting. I think it's going to make it more competitive. With Queensland going to go, right, is this a one-off year blip? Let's get back on top, and that gives New South Wales a reason to go. We've got something to fight for here because we've got a coach who believes in us, in Brad Fittler, and they've won the 2 opening games and they've controlled the 2 opening games. And they could whitewash. If they whitewash, this is what they didn't do 4 years ago. They didn't whitewash Queensland 4 years ago when they had a great chance to do so. They just put out a second string New South Wales Blues side and Queensland annihilated them in the 3rd game. If New South Wales win the 3rd game, they're putting down a marker for next year. But it's great to see that the competition is fresh and it's injected with that intensity that I think it's started to lack, and that this will quiet down some calls saying State of Origin isn't worth it. It will temper those calls for it to be axed as a game or a series on the calendar. Series. Oh, what am I doing? Series on the calendar. We've already, as we've seen, lost City Country, which I think is a crying shame and is wrong. And there were calls to get rid of State of Origin as is, which I think, again, it adds to the game, it improves the game, and over here in Super League we don't have that extra level of intensity that the NRL has because of State of Origin. But that's my thoughts on it. Not everyone's going to agree with my views. More of a ramble, this video. It wasn't really planned. I just remembered, hey, New South Wales have won State of Origin for only the 2nd time since 2005. I might as well do a video on it because it's kind of important. Because the Football World Cup has been dominating the news and sport, I have sort of slightly neglected other sports, and Wimbledon's starting next week, in a week's time, 7 days. That's going to be interesting as well, so there's going to be some more sports to discuss. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, place your comments below, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.